Saga here. I got the privilege and the chance to sit down with Davey, Spitfire, and Vega of the Submission Squad.
Hello.
So, how did you actually get involved in championship wrestling?
Well, I've been watching wrestling since I was 8 years old, and I decided that I wanted to be a wrestler by the time I hit 12 or 13 years old. So from there, I aspired to be a wrestler, and I actually wanted to start training at Chikart Wrestle Factory. I didn't get that chance, so I ended up training in St. Louis at a place called Gateway Championship Wrestling under Dingo.
Cool. Who were your idols that made you actually want to become a wrestler?
Oh man, I have too many. Bret Hart, definitely. Chris Jericho, Eddie Guerrero. Man, like there's so many running through my head right now. Like, so many, Macho Man, he's a great one.
Some good ones.
Yeah, like
some good ones.
We'd be here all day because it's like, if I could say, in fact, you know what? Like any wrestler that is able to go out and do what they do and put their body out on the line is an inspiration to me.
Cool. So where did the title Spitfire come from?
There was a time where I came to training and I always wore, there's this company called the Spitfire Wheels Company for a skateboard company, and I had a hoodie that had the Spitfire logo that I have, and it said Spitfire under it.
Cool.
And I used to wear the Spitfire hoodie all the time. Well, a friend of mine decided that he was gonna say, hey, why do you wear that shirt? And I go, oh, it's just a hoodie that I wear when I'm cold. And he's like, I think it's because you spit hot fire. And then it just went from there. Spitfire, Davey, Vega.
Cool.
So,
You've been wrestling for how many years now?
Actually, March 12th to the date will be 5 years.
5 years?
5 years.
Man, you like a pro out there. You like you've been doing it forever.
Being brought up in the business by Dingo, and I actually ended up doing some training at Chikart Wrestle Factory.
Cool.
And just being trained by some of the people that I was trained by, like you learn to be professional and to hold yourself as a professional. So.
Well, you're better known. You're better known as being in the Submission Squad.
Yes.
You have at ACW, you got your own little chant section and stuff, and the guys don't like it. You eat it up.
This is true.
How did you get involved with the Submission Squad? How did you meet Evan and Pierre and Gary?
Well, this is how it all went down. I got trained by Dingo at Gateway Championship Wrestling, and there was another wrestling company by the name of Lethal Wrestling Alliance, who is now St. Louis Anarchy.
Okay.
They were actually the first ones to, I guess, let me cut my teeth in the business, and they gave me a match, and it just kind of, from there, it just kind of went from there. And I got inducted into the Submission Squad about a year and a half, 2 years into my LWA wrestling career. So. Do you
like being in the tag team, or do you like being individual?
They both have their perks. I like that I can let's say with Gary, when I'm tagging with Gary, we know what each other is thinking, and we gel very well together.
Yes, I do.
In fact, we all as a unit we all gel pretty well.
Yes.
Like in ACW, we haven't been able to, that you have the Submission Squad, and you realize that me and Gary are one tag team, and Evan and Pierre are one tag team.
Right.
But we've all switched tag partners at one point in time, and we all know what each other's thinking. I mean, we travel together, we eat together, we sleep together in a non-sexual way, but and no matter what anybody says, we're not gay. So. But I mean, we're around each other constantly, so it's like, it's like an extended family.
So on record now, you're saying Gary is really not gay?
Gary is not gay.
Okay, just making sure, because
if you guys still want to call him gay, that's okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It gets him riled up a little bit.
So here's a question that you can help some of the kids out.
Okay.
What do you say to kids who are jumping on trampolines, and watching wrestling and stuff, and the backyarders and stuff? Mm-hmm. Well, what do you say to them that are actually doing it right now?
I can't say a whole lot, mainly because I was one of those kids. I emulated what I saw on TV with a bunch of my friends. We actually had a makeshift ring and all that. And this is before I ended up getting trained. But what I would say to those kids is, get trained professionally by a good school. There's a lot of people out there that'll just try to take your money and they won't train you properly. Luckily, I found somebody that was able to train me properly. But yeah, I mean, it's not worth, bumping on the ground or taking chair shots to the head when you're not even trained. So
you're a professional trainer. What's your worst injury?
My worst injury? It's funny, I haven't sustained any real huge injury in the ring. Like, all my injuries have come outside of the ring. Like, I think my worst injury so far is I twisted my ankle really bad to the point where I thought it was broken, and that was from just walking to my car. There was a hole in my yard, and that was it's really weird. Like, I have, knock on wood, but I haven't been injured in the ring, so I've been very lucky thus far. So
we work for professionals. So.
This is true. This is true.
So, do you have one match in your career that sticks out, or do you got one match that you would love to redo?
Oh man, putting me on the spot. One match that sticks out. If you would have asked me this probably about half a year ago, I would have said I had a tables, ladders, and chairs match. It was a tag match. Again, it was me and Dingo. This is the first time that me and Dingo ever tagged up against the guys that I was actually feuding with at the time, the Ego Express of Casey Carrington and Stephen Kennedy. The match was great, and it's still one of my favorite matches to date. Now that you ask me now, one that sticks out the most is my most recent match against Davey Richards on January 8th.
Cool. Do you got a match that you would love to go back and just redo because you could have done it so much better?
I think I would. I definitely would like to revisit the match with Davey again, because I feel like I think the match ended up being very well, and I showed people that I can hang with the top talent in the world.
Cool.
But I would love to redo that. I would not because I'm unhappy about it, but because I want to show people that I can do this time and time again. But another match I would like to redo is me and Gary versus ACH and Akira Tozawa.
That was a nice match. I would.
Yeah, I definitely would like to redo that one too. So.
One more question before you go. You may not know the answer. How did you get involved in ACW?
Nick Tyson, who was part of the Submission Squad down in Texas for a while, he ended up retiring, and they needed a new member. Well, I ended up meeting Darren Childs, and he actually worked on a St. Louis show with us. I ended up meeting him, and it was kind of like a scouting thing, but at the same time it was kind of like, hey, you're kind of being scouted, but you kind of already have a spot on the show. And I wrestled JT Lamato that show, and I had a good showing. And then from there, I was part of the Submission Squad.
Cool.
So.
Well, I know I said one last question.
Yeah.
I got enough time. One more question?
Hey, not a problem.
All right. One last question. If you had a chance to wrestle anybody that you've seen out there right now, it could be professional, who would you like to get in the ring with?
Just anybody?
Anybody.
Even if they're not active right now?
Even if they're not active right now. They got to be alive.
They got to be alive,
yes.
Okay.
You can't go and say, I want to be Chris Benoit or Eddie Guerrero. You got to be alive.
Okay. I was going to say Owen Hart, but I would have to say either Chris Jericho or Bret Hart. I would definitely like to step in the ring with one of those guys because I can learn so much from them.
Cool. How can people find out about Davey Vega online? You got any websites or anything?
You can go to my Facebook. I believe it is facebook.com/Davey Vega. If that doesn't work, then I'm on Facebook. You can find me under Davey Vega.
Or you can look me up, he's underneath me. So.
Yeah, you can email me at daveyvega85@gmail.com. I have a MySpace. I don't really go to it anymore, but if you're feeling froggy, then go ahead and look me up on MySpace.
Well, thank you, sir. You be safe.
Thank you.
And I'll see you after the show.
Appreciate it.